Welcome to Danimals House, everyone. Today we're going to do a little trailer talk. I want to kind of evaluate with you what my feelings are as to whether it would have been better for me to buy a brand new trailer or repair and restore one that I already had. Let's get going. So this is the trailer that I've had. I've had it for probably 20 years. I bought it out in South Dakota. Pretty sure I paid $650 for it all those years back. And it didn't have the sides on it at the time, like as far as the wood, but it had the metal frame. And this trailer has been great to us. It tows really well. It's balanced really well, so it's easy to just lift up the tongue and move it around by hand. It tips, so when I want to run the four-wheeler on, it's super easy for me to tip the trailer down, put a little weight on the end so that it stays, drive the four-wheeler right up. It works great for lawn tractors. Pretty much anything that you need it to tip for, it works great for. But I got to the point with this trailer where the lights were flickering sometimes. It had rusted through in certain areas, and it was just, really starting to degrade. The wood had rotted out a little bit in a few spots where potentially if I had it just right condition, it could have broken or fallen through. And it was just time. It was time to upgrade. And so I was fighting the decision, do I just scrap this trailer and go buy another one? It's maybe $1,500 to $1,800 for a similar utility trailer like this in our area at this time in the market. Or do I go through the process of repairing and restoring? So I did end up repairing and restoring, and I'm going to walk you through that process and let you know if I think that it was worth it. So the first part of the process here was I took all of the old wood off. Okay, the old wood was worn out. It was unsafe, and basically my tie downs and all that were just kind of junk. So I took all the wood off. I put new wood on. In here you can see it's basically just 2x8s. And I bought treated lumber. I let it dry for about 2 months, and then I went ahead and I secured it back down. I used carriage bolts and I used stainless steel bolts this time, because when I took the old ones out, I pretty much had to sawzall every single one off or break it off with force because they just didn't want to work right. So I've got stainless steel in here now. I made the spacing exactly right. When you buy these trailers from the factory, they're relatively rough. I mean, I think they just run self-tapping screws in, and it's any kind of basic employee that's doing it. So they're a little bit all over the place when it comes to the spacing. It's not a machine doing it, but it cost me about $200 for the wood for the bottom. Then it cost me about another $150 for the wood along the sides and all that. Basically, with this thing, I have the back that I have off, and I put some little holders on it, and I can put this in the back where my metal strips just line up just right. And now if I want to go get a load of mulch or anything else where I want this enclosed, that's good. But for gas mileage, I really don't want to have this thing in the back. I'd rather have this in the front. So these little brackets and things I just modified myself. Also, I have a little tray right here where I can put concrete weight on for whatever reason I need more tongue weight, because if you don't have the right tongue weight when you're towing, you're going to have sway, and that can be a safety concern. Then I replaced the jack on here. This jack was about $60, and I took the whole thing in and I had it sandblasted and painted. Basically, that cost me $800 to have it sandblasted and painted. And then I bought some new hardware for up here, like new chains. I got a new little handle for maneuvering it around. Also got some lights, and while I had it painted, I had the tires done. I also, on the bottom side was in good condition, but the little channels where the wires went were all rusted up, and so I ground those off, got new ones, and got that all finished up. So basically, I'm really happy with how it turned out. I did paint the wood after putting it in there. It's kind of crazy how much that wood shrinks. Like I said, after about 2 months, you've got, like in some cases, a 1/4 inch in between those little floor planks. And so anyway, in the end, am I happy I went through the process? Yes. Okay, the reason that I'm happy I went through the process is because in the end it cost me slightly less. Okay, I don't know the exact figures, but I want to say it was between $1,200 and $1,400 to have this thing completely restored, and it took a decent amount of my time and my work as well. Okay, but here's the difference. I got this thing exactly the way I want it. When you go buy a trailer for $1,500 to $1,800, it's going to come stock. It's not going to be painted. It may or may not have these wood sides on here. It may or may not have an easy system for things. It may have a jack that's okay, but you have a different preference for it. Also, this little tray here holds my my battery-powered hydraulic pump for my dump box, and all that stuff is fabricated in there just perfectly. And basically, I'm really happy with it. The thing tows great. Everything's painted up nice and it looks brand new, but it's brand new in a way that kind of like similar to an a la carte type style, where I was able to make my modifications, and then in the end, for slightly less, assuming no cost for my time, I've got a better trailer in the end. So in the end, if you're willing to take the time, effort, and you have certain little things that are important to you, I'd suggest repairing and restoring your trailer versus buying new. And if, you know, restoring and all that time is not your thing, I'd say just it's close enough in cost. Just scrap that old one and go buy a new one would be my thought. So it all depends kind of how you roll. So guys, if you like the episode, don't forget to click for me. And if you haven't already, click that subscribe button. Otherwise, I'll see you on the next episode of Animals House.